You must do this when playing Jagdpanzer. Did you know that there's a way to make your superstructure actually super? There's no better tank to trade with than Jagdpanzer, but you still would like to avoid being hit, right? This tank maybe does not have much armor, but what about using it still? At this angle, 330 and lower pen tanks will not pen your superstructure. They will pen your cupola still, and lower plate, which you cannot do much about, but you can move around, and if you wedge yourself up a bit with your lower plate hidden, with the movement here and there together, it will be very hard to actually hit. And if you do this, your superstructure actually becomes super giga structure. Oh, but actually it's very hard to pen like this. With higher pen you should count them as panning you, but it's still possible to make a mistake. As mentioned before, the biggest problem of this tank is the lower plate. So you wanna hide it so that there's only superstructure showing up. But with the lower plate there's also one trick you can do, and you can even bait shots out with it. But for it to work you need to know what type of ammunition your enemy is shooting. If it's hit, then you can do something with it. If it's APs, you can't do much, honestly. If it's hit, you wanna be using your side of the tracks, which there's a spaced armor, so they won't go through it. And with that, you angle your lower plate a lot. But as you can see, as soon as I switch from hits to APs, I just go through the first wheel, so it will work only against people that do not know much about the game. Lately I've been marking it, and towards the end I've been having some really good sessions. This is unfortunately the only screenshot I got, and it's like the very end of making it, but you gotta believe me. And if there's any tips I would give you is, don't be afraid to play aggressively. This tank is really fun to play in hull down city fights, and to look for corridor fights, trade 1-for-1, and then if you're low on HP, just fall back. Just make sure to leave yourself that option available to, you know, be able to come back. But overall, mostly you wanna make use of your godly high pen. Take positions where you can rickroll hull down fuckers that think they're safe, Lameo. And here on Siegfried's line, this is a perfect position for this, where they can't even clap back. I do miss here, that's unfortunate, but because of all the bushes, you will not get spotted. You can hit there, and you can hit there as well, your enemies. And with 420 pen with gold, you will go through everything pretty much. You just need to keep looking at the squares F5, F9 and F0 not to get spotted from there. Now here's a funny one. This guy catches me off guard, I'm a one-shot, he's behind me, he runs himself into me, so that makes him a one-shot for me now. He bounces off of my behind somehow. I managed to turn around in time and he... But besides all this, playing red line and just hoping for the exit damage or, you know, holding stuff. This tank is really good at holding stuff. It's also valid. On Karelia, this position is very good for this tank. Did you know, by the way, about it? The gun missed as per with this fucking tank. But see, I'm not even spotted. Same here, poor guy doesn't even know what hit him. Another one, E3. Just 3 damage in it. The problem is you will not spot yourself, but you know, you got your teammates for that. And to end it with, this is the setup I would recommend. Turbo because I stand faster than this tank drives, literally. Rammer because damage. And aiming unit because it's nice to sometimes hit something. Don't judge my crewmates' skins.